Jim had to write a paper for his honors class. But the topic was super hard. So Jim got lots of books and did lots of research. But it was all too confusing. Then Jim's friend came in and said,
"Hey, what is up?"
And Jim was like, "I am researching the meaning of life for my honors paper." And she said,
"You should go to the ancient temple. The elder knows what the meaning of life is."
Jim thought that would be a good idea, so he got onto his motorcycle and set off to find the ancient temple. Jim got onto the highway and drove his motorcycle super fast because his paper was due in like 2 days. Jim had to stop because the road ahead was closed. But there was a detour through Ravenholm, so Jim went into Ravenholm, and he thought, "Wow, Ravenholm is really bad area. I shouldn't have come here." Then Jim saw a head crab zombie, and he was like, "Oh my god, a head crab zombie." And the zombie was like, "Roar, I are head crab zombie." But Jim did not panic. Jim got out his trusty crowbar and used it to defeat the zombie. Jim went to get back onto his motorcycle, and he saw that it had been stolen by bad guys, and he thought to himself, "Wow, Ravenholm is really bad area. You shouldn't come here." So Jim got onto a nearby bicycle and pedaled away from Ravenholm as fast as he could. Jim was riding his bicycle through the desert when he came upon a small town and thought it would be a good idea to ask for directions because his map was really confusing. So Jim asked the local metro cop for directions, and the metro cop was like, "Temple are that way." Jim thanked the metro cop and popped a wheelie and then continued on to the temple. Jim had finally arrived at the ancient temple, and he thought to himself, "Wow, I am at ancient temple now. Now I can find out what the meaning of life is and write my paper." Jim went up to the temple and called to see if anyone was there. Then a temple guard came out and said,
"To enter the temple, you must first pass 2 tests."
And Jim was like, "Bring it on, I are not afraid of tests."
"First, you must pass the multiple choice exam! Sit at that desk over there and take the exam. You have 1 hour. You are past the multiple choice exam. Here is the second test. You must defeat the Guardian in Mortal Kombat."
The Guardian came out of the temple, and he was like super mean looking and super scary, but Jim knew that he could not back down, because if he didn't get this answer, he wouldn't be able to write his paper. Ready. Fight! Jim fought fiercely with the Guardian, and kicked up lots of dust. Ding! Finish him! Fatality.
You have defeated the Guardian. You may enter. Don't worry about the Guardian, he will respawn.
Jim went into the ancient temple and met the elder, and Jim was like, "Wait, aren't you the dean?" And he was like, "No, I are elder."
"Tell me, young one, what is it you seek?"
"I need to know the meaning of life, so that I can write my paper."
"In this cabinet, so conveniently placed in the ancient temple, is a scroll which contains the meaning of life. Behold the meaning of life."
Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna
Ha 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 ha.
Jim was very upset and was about to leave the temple when the guardian gave him some advice. Then Jim finally understood what he had to do. Jim thanked the guardian and got into a flying airboat and went back and wrote an awesome paper and got an A.